Hello, Wonderhussy here. As you can see, I'm a long way from my home in the desert right now. I'm actually just outside Rocky Mountain National Park in a place called the Never Summer Mountains. And well, you can almost see how they got their name looking at the landscape, and based on the fact that I'm wearing a jacket in August. Okay, well, they're called the Never Summer Mountains, but the sun's out, the sky's blue, everything's green and lush and gorgeous, and there's flowers everywhere. But that's not why I'm up here. The reason I came up here is I'm sort of on a pilgrimage. Okay, I almost feel like a religious pilgrim going to visit a holy, sacred shrine. But in my religion, which is nature, that shrine is the headwaters of the Colorado River. That's right, the mighty Colorado, the fifth longest river in the United States that flows over 1,400 miles through the desert Southwest, supplying water to 40 million people. The mighty Colorado that flows through mountains, valleys, and dramatic red rock canyons, only to first be neutered by the Glen Canyon Dam to create Lake Powell, and then the Hoover Dam where it creates Lake Mead. The same Colorado River that's so tapped out by the time it finally reaches the Gulf of California, there's hardly anything left. Well, I've swam, hiked, boated, kayaked, and camped along the Colorado River for years, and I've always been curious to see where it all starts. You know, like when I go to my hot springs, I always like to go and try to find the very source where the hot water is bubbling out of the ground. Well, that's why I came all the way up here to the very northernmost part of Colorado, almost in Wyoming, to find the source where the Colorado River first comes bubbling out of the ground. So I think it's somewhere in that meadow over there, kind of near where that person is camping. Yeah, look, there's like a bunch of tents out here. I guess there's a lot of moose in this area, so I'm guessing that's why all these people come out here to do wildlife photography, wildlife viewing. I don't think anybody else is as nutty about the Colorado River as I am. And it is kind of a weird thing to be borderline obsessed with, but I don't know, I'm just so fascinated by the Colorado River because, well, most of the country it travels through is just so arid and so baked and dry. But look at this, up here in the headwaters, well, there's plenty of water. Look at that, lily pads on a pond. Oh my God, this beautiful marsh. It's just so lush and green and gorgeous. And this Colorado River seeps up for the very first little bubbles somewhere right out there in that meadow. And I don't know, call me weird, and yeah, you can definitely call me weird and it's justified, but I'm very excited, you can probably tell, to see this. I've had this pinned on my map for probably at least a few years, and I just, you know, it really is, it's way up. You can look on Google Maps, it's marked way up in northern Colorado in a very desolate part of the country. So, you know, it's kind of off the beaten path, and I had to kind of make a special trip to come out here. But it's totally worth it. Now, the only downside is it's not really evident at all where this headwater is. I mean, I'm walking on sort of this, I guess, levee road that's closed to vehicle traffic. And there is a gorgeous, I guess, creek flowing on my right. But according to Google Maps, the Colorado River is on that side of me. And this, I mean, as beautiful and clear and tempting as it is flowing this way. And last time I checked my compass, Lake Powell, Lake Mead, and the Hoover Dam are that way. So that cannot be the Colorado River. It's got to be over here in this meadow somewhere. It's August 3rd today, and it's only about 10:30 in the morning, so it's probably going to be a beautiful, hot day. Huh. Do you suppose it would be bad form if I skinny dipped in the headwaters of the Colorado River? I mean, you think about it, people pee in the Colorado River all the time. If you go to Lake Powell or Lake Mead or you're anywhere on the river, they actually tell you that you should pee in it because that way your scent gets carried away and doesn't freak out the animals. So, you know, there's people peeing in the river right now. I'm sure plenty of them downstream. But if I skinny dipped up here, well, I guess that would make me like the first to pollute it as it comes freshly bubbling out of the ground. You know, my bare ass would be the first thing it touches when it comes out into this beautiful world. Yeah, I just noticed something. Entering Rocky Mountain National Park. Okay, so I guess Rocky Mountain National Park is on that side of the sign, but the Headwaters is on this side of the sign. So we're technically still in the Roosevelt National Forest. Yeah, look here on the tree. United States Department of the Interior Boundary Line National Park Service. Golly, I wonder why this park is so clearly delineated. I mean, I've been to the fringes of different national parks and they weren't marked. Like there's several of these signs up on the tree saying this is where the national park starts. So I wonder if that has something to do with the river headwaters being up here. You know, like poor Colorado River is, I think it's like considered the most engineered river in the world, I think I read, because it's so heavily dammed and piped off to irrigation, and every last friggin' drop of it is accounted for. Because every last drop of this river is so heavily litigated, I'm guessing that might be why there's all those park signs up. And then it's like, what's in that building there? You know, what are they hiding in there? Maybe that's like a gauging station where they, I mean, you didn't read these statistics about how much water came out down the Colorado River in any given year. This is where they measure the headwaters, so it's very interesting to me to see this. I mean, it does look like there's some kind of beautiful little creek coming down out of the mountains there. Maybe that's it. Okay, according to Google Maps, we're pretty much standing right at the Colorado River headwaters. And you can see there's like a beautiful mountain stream come cascading down over these rocks, sparkling in the sunlight, running through these beautiful wildflowers, oh my gosh, and then through this culvert. And then it comes out over here and goes flowing along its merry way through this gorgeous alpine meadow, and then on and on and on for 1,450 miles. This little creek right here flows all the way through the rest of Colorado, and it's got to go through quite a bit of Colorado because, like I said, we're way up north by Wyoming. And then it has to flow all the way through Utah, through canyon lands, those gorgeous towering red sandstone cliffs on either side. Carves its way through, and that's where the Green River comes feeding into it. And then from there it goes flowing on through the rest of Utah, through all that gorgeous canyon country, until it ends up bonking its head on the Glen Canyon Dam and backing up to create gorgeous Lake Powell. And then it kind of seeps out, sort of meekly neutered from the dam, and continues on downstream through, well, I guess that'd be part of Arizona. Oh, the Grand Canyon. It goes through the Grand friggin' Canyon. How could I forget that? It goes through the Grand Canyon. And then it comes out into Lake Mead at a place called Pierce Ferry. I've actually made some videos at Pierce Ferry before. It's a gnarly rapid where the mighty Colorado, which remember has already been twice neutered by dams, still comes gushing in to fill Lake Mead, and then it really bonks its head on the Hoover Dam. And that's where it's like, I keep using this neutering terminology. Hopefully that's not seen as sexist or emasculating. Sorry for my male viewers, but that's just the analogy that springs to mind. Anyway, once it goes out from the Hoover Dam, it's pretty mellow. Like I've kayaked in Black Canyon below the Hoover Dam. There's a bunch of hot springs down there, and it's so chill. You barely even need a paddle. And then from Black Canyon, it flows down to Parker Dam by Lake Havasu. It creates Lake Havasu. And then, well, gosh, if you've ever been down there and seen it after it leaves Parker Dam, it's pretty sluggish. It just sort of trickles along until it gets to Yuma, Arizona, where there's the Imperial Dam. And I'm ashamed to say I've actually never been to the Imperial Dam, and it's now on my list. I feel like I must go because that's effectively where the Colorado River ends. Yeah, technically it does go on beyond the Imperial Dam and peters out in the Gulf of California. But at the Imperial Dam, there's this huge canal called the All-American Canal that sucks out every last bit of allocated water and pipes it over into the Imperial Valley over by the Salton Sea, which is, I guess, it's the biggest winter agriculture area in the entire United States. And well, if you've ever driven down there and it's just like blisteringly hot, baking, arid deserts everywhere, and then all of a sudden there's all these farm fields, and you go, well, that doesn't seem right. No wonder there's a water crisis. Why are we growing strawberries in the desert? Well, the Imperial Valley is why we can have strawberries in the wintertime. And well, I don't know about you, but I'm an American, by golly. I was born in America, and I'm gonna have strawberries any time of year I want. Okay, anyway, enough rambling for me. Look, here's a sign. Oh my God, they even marked it with a sign. Look at this. Ah! In the valley below lies a tiny stream called the Colorado River. It has barely begun its travels, but 6 miles upstream lies that magical point where water begins its downstream journey to the sea, a course of 1,400 miles to the Gulf of California. Well, I read 1,450 miles, but it says, en route, the stream is joined in succession by the Green, the San Juan, and the Little Colorado River tributaries, and it becomes a mighty river. It drains a portion of 7 states and Mexico, some 244,000 square miles in all, and serves as the lifeblood of the Southwest. Oh gosh, lifeblood of the Southwest. I feel like that should be my tagline. Anyway, I'm kind of confused by this terminology here. It says, 6 miles upstream lies that magical point where water begins its downstream journey to the sea. So does that mean the source is actually 6 miles upstream, like up that way? Oh, interesting. The point that I thought it started at was farther down. So, gosh, I don't know. Maybe I'll just hike upstream a bit and see what I can see. Golly, as I'm hiking along, it did occur to me that it was kind of weird that there was all those tents right by the headwaters of the Colorado River. Like, if you just came out here to look at moose, you could camp anywhere. What if all those people that are camped here they just got an earlier start and they're all up there at the headwaters having some kind of secret ceremony? You know, what if it's like the Illuminati? What if like Hillary Clinton and the My Pillow guy and Ivanka Trump and Liz Cheney, they're all up there eating babies and pissing in the Colorado River? You never know. For that matter, Sasquatch is probably with them. Okay, I don't know about any of all that, but I do know that the river is still trickling along. It does seem like it's gotten narrower and the trickle has slowed a bit. So I guess we are getting closer to the source. Okay, well, unfortunately, the trail definitely ends here. I mean, you can see it's just a tangled mess of beautiful wildflowers, each one sparkling with little droplets of dew. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? But as beautiful as it is, I really don't want to go wading through all these plants because there are deer ticks in Colorado and Lyme disease, and I don't want to get Lyme disease. And besides, I don't even know if there's anywhere deep enough to skinny dip in up here. It's pretty shallow. I don't know. Where there's a will, there's a way. Of course, the sun goes away as soon as I take my clothes off and prepare to jump into this freezing cold snowmelt. Oh my God, this is gonna be so cold. This is literal Colorado Rocky Mountain snowmelt, y'all. And I'm about to get in it because my love of the Colorado River knows no bounds. Let it never be said that I don't take one for the team. Oh, it's so cold. Ah! Oh my God, it's so cold. I can't even goof around. I just gotta do this. Ah! Ooh! Ee! Ah! Ooh! Ah! Ooh! Ah! 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 Ooh! Ah! Ooh! I really am doing this. Ooh! Ooh! Ee! Ah! Ooh! I just can't show it on YouTube. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Talk about a wake-up call. Ooh! Whoa, man. You're just gonna have to take my word for it because, well, I couldn't actually show nudity on YouTube, but I really did submerge my entire body in that ice-cold Rocky Mountain snowmelt. Whoa! That was, without a doubt, the coldest cold plunge I've ever taken. But it was totally worth it. It felt amazing. And now I can say I skinny dipped in the headwaters of the mighty Colorado. But man, now I am freezing cold. There's probably 1,000 bears watching me, and it's probably gonna start raining any minute. So I guess I better not dilly-dally up here too long. But before I leave, there is one more thing I wanted to do while I'm up here, and that is I want to collect and filter some water from the source of the Colorado River so I can take a swig and toast to all y'all that are waiting downstream. Okay, got my bag of water fresh from the Colorado River headwaters, and now I'm just gonna squeeze some through the filter into my drinking cup. Look at that, pure Rocky Mountain snowmelt. Cheers. Ah. Delicious, but I have a better idea. I thought it might be more fun to raise a toast to the mighty Colorado with some wild turkey. Okay, I'm not crazy about wild turkey, but I was trying to look up cocktails that you mix with water, and it's like scotch and water, bourbon and water. Well, I really don't like scotch, and well, I happen to have some wild turkey with me anyways to put in hot cocoa. So even though it's barely afternoon, I thought I would make myself a bourbon and water. I'm gonna call this the Colorado. Woo! Wild turkey. Anyway, cheers. Cheers to the beautiful, mighty Colorado from here at its humble headwaters, where it emerges from the mighty Rocky Mountains as barely a trickle, but works its way down and through the entire southwestern United States until it gives out in the Gulf of California, giving of itself freely all along the way. I appreciate you, river. Here's to your health. Whoa! Whew. Man, I think you're supposed to put ice in this cocktail, but this water is so ice cold anyways, don't really need it. I guess I should also say cheers to our Mexican brothers and sisters because, well, they share the Colorado River with us, so salud! Whoa. And I suppose I ought to do one more toast while I'm up here to all 40 million of you who live in the Colorado River watershed and depend on its waters for life. Matter of fact, if you want to cheers me, go ahead and make your own cocktail. And if you do live in an area where the Colorado River provides your water, well, go ahead and make that cocktail with tap water, because I'm sure it'll taste extra sweet now that my bare ass has wallowed in it. Cheers!